Hello everyone, back again on Sports Bits. On a fresh episode of the show, we are less than a month away from the Community Shield, and that is great because we are counting down ever so fervently towards the opening of the season. Clubs are back in pre-season. Matter of fact, games have been played, and we're looking forward to bringing you all those stories here on Sports Bits. Glad to have you join us on what is another fresh episode of the show. Lots to talk about today. We'll touch base with athletics, tennis, Wimbledon, of course, coming to a grinding halt, but what an epic, pulsating final in the men's and women's category. What about what's happening out there in the Premier League transfer business? Pretty much rife, and clubs getting the final confirmation on those papers. We'll bring you all those stories. And of course, there's big news heading into the USA tour for teams like Arsenal, Man United, Real Madrid, Dortmund, and of course, the likes of AC Milan are also doing business as well. Take a break on Sports Pizza. When we come back, we'll get into all the big talking points. Welcome back to Sports Pizza. It is always a pleasure to be back on your airwaves, and it's always a great delight to be able to welcome back to the studio for maybe the upteenth time. Falana Adeni, it's good to have you join us this morning.
It's a pleasure.
Always an absolute delight to have you. Let's start off with two stories, and as we customarily always do, we like to start off with stories closer to home. You know what they say about charity and where it all begins from. Tobi Amusan, let's start off with her. The winner at the IAAF, Diamond League. Interestingly, I've got to say, I was worried about her because of her injuries. She mentioned at the post race that she had an injury, the hamstring. She had a knee problem as well, but she trusted her coach, trusted the process, and she just kept running, and she didn't even know when she crossed the finish line. So, tell me about what we're witnessing here, because I get the feeling that a lot of Nigerians don't quite understand or feel really grasp what she's doing on the global stage. She's your Lionel Messi, she's your Zinedine Zidane, because she's dominating that scene, impeccably.
Definitely. And when we look at Tobi Amusan right now, you probably want to think about Blessing Okagbare.
Yeah.
Back then, Okagbare was like her go-to, I was about to say go-to guy. When it comes to Nigeria, name dominating the world of athletics. And it's just a sad thing that she's currently banned right now. Tobi Amusan has taken it upon herself to put the Nigerian flag, the Nigerian name up there in the global stage. And she came to Benin, and for our very own athletics event a couple of days back, and for her to travel again to Poland to represent in the country, it's something that is very, very commendable. 12.34 seconds. A season best for her. Probably because of the injury she's just recovering from. She started a bit late in the race, but she was able to recover, as they progress, in the hurdles. And if you think 100 meters is not an easy one, then when it comes to the 100 meters hurdles, that is when you know that running and jumping. And it's a commendable achievement for her.
More so with an injury, if you're running straight, it's not straightforward, but it is relatively, the task. Get to the finish line. When you're running and jumping the hurdles, it is a different ballgame entirely. And she did it in 12.54 seconds. Kendra Harrison, pushed her very, very close.
It was a tight one. If you see the video, you probably think
she crosses her almost at the final.
Exactly. So that's one thing about her, not giving up. Because I'm very sure within her, she knew that she started very, very late. And they pulled clear, but she was able to close the gap, and not just closing the gap, winning. And I think she's definitely going to win more. I'm very sure of that. Very sure of that.
Silesia, of course, the Diamond League out there in Poland. Great pleasure to be able to bring you another story from the world champion in Tobi Amusan. Congrats to her, and of course, commiserations to the runner-up in Kendra Harrison, the American, always putting great strides, be it on the hurdles or be it on the sprints as well. Falana Adeni, of course, doing justice to that story. Another story I want to touch base with, in keeping with the tradition of, fleshing out the local stories. First of all, Sporting Lagos, talk to me about them and just how excited you are about them. Because for sure, one thing is in Lagos, we love our football here, and we haven't quite, been blessed with consistent football teams in the last couple of years. We saw MFM, come up in the last few years. We've seen a couple more teams, but it's not been consistent. What are we witnessing with these guys here? They were formed in 2022, so they're barely a year old back in the NPFL for the first time, right? And they've taken this crowd thing to another level. I think that's the story around them.
Sure.
People want to go see them at the stadium. The Unicon Stadium in Lagos, 10,000 capacity, was filled to the brim. Matter of fact, with people outside waiting to see them. What have they done differently?
I think what they've been able to do differently is, I think they've been able to harness the power of youth, and they know youth are crazy about football. Not that the older generations are not crazy about football, but with the advent of social media, interactions always going on, and I think just like what we see, in the Western world, I think their players also are feeding on the fact that they know that there are players ready to support them. They're feeding on the fact that influencers are pushing their brand. They're feeding on the fact that everybody wants to know what is going on.
So basically, they tapped into the digital market, right? And it's a great strategy, and it's something we've always, in close quarters, anyways, we've always said, look, football clubs need to do it in a different way. I always draw references to a team like AS Roma, for example. When Nigeria had the jersey launch, the 2018 jersey, which, took the world by storm, AS Roma, went ahead to make a jersey similar to that for their training kits, right? Since then, they opened a Swahili account, right? Tapped into the Swahili market, tapped into the Nigerian market, have a Pidgin account, tapped into, lots of markets. And I keep saying there are new frontiers to build into, which is what Sporting Lagos have done.
Sure. And I think now the fans know that, the players know that this is our home stadium, Mobolaji Johnson Arena. Yeah. Fans are already saying that we want to come and watch you guys play football. Just like you said, it's been a while that we've seen teams in Lagos. Go back to the eras of Julius Berger, and
stationary stores,
MFM, but I think they've taken a cue from other clubs and seen what they've been able to do. And we go back again to the fact that if there's an enabling environment for our club side to work with, I think they're going to try. And that's what Sporting Lagos is doing right now. They know that everybody wants to see them win, especially in Lagos. And they're already, stoking the fire for the Western rivalry between them and Remo Stars, next season. We were thinking about Remo Stars and Shooting Stars, but I think Shooting Stars are not
quite at the level Remo are.
I know. So Remo Stars now have a new sheriff in town, and that is Sporting Lagos. I'm really looking forward to next year. If you think what they did to the Super 8 player for the NLN is a fluke, then what they've done again in the Super 8 playoff series,
almost confirming
has confirmed that
we're not going to go away. We're here, and you have to take us seriously, right?
Everyone now is now, where can I get a jersey? Where can I get a jersey? Where can I get Sporting Lagos jersey? I think we are in for an exciting period in Lagos State.
I tell you what, it is quite the atmosphere that Sporting Lagos have been able to create. They have the halftime show, at the stadium. You have cheerleaders, you have performances. So it's almost as if though you're going to
a Super Bowl.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch. But you go to the stadium to see a football game, but you realize that you're not going to have a dull moment. And look, on my WhatsApp, I had people who were updating their status be like, look, we're in the stadium. So there's almost a fear of missing out also beginning to build. And when you have that, trust me, you're riding. I'm telling you at the moment, they can project and say, you know what, the next game we're going to sell out at the very least 7,000 tickets, right? Because people now want to go there, put it on their weekend plans and all that kind of stuff. I'm sad for the people that live around, Unicon Stadium, because the traffic is ridiculous. Right. We've spoken about them so much, right? We have to commiserate with Remo Stars who lost on penalties. But the way Sporting want to go about it, but great game to watch. I'm sure that more of this to come in the MPFL season.
And I like the fact that if you look at both coaches, young coaches,
Paul Ofo for Sporting Lisbon, Sporting Lagos,
and of course Ogumodede for
Remo Stars.
And I think the owners of the clubs, they're giving everyone, they've put the right people in the right positions, you know, and you don't need to talk to a team manager to talk to commissioner of sport, for commissioner of sport to talk to, before he talks to the governor, and before the funds start coming in. I mean, there's a direct channel from, everyone knows their job, and everyone, they have a common goal. They want a successful team, and I think that is why we've seen both of them. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them at the end of the day, if they end up, you know, up there when you're talking about our league come next season, because there are funds that are made readily available for them to play, and I think there's a clear pattern. This is what we want to achieve. How do we achieve it? It feels like a corporate world, a corporate organization.
Great.
I think that it will work. Maybe other clubs will also look at how private individuals, you know, can also come into them and give them a named environment for them to work.
Great stuff. Hopefully they're watching and listening to you as well. Well, 25 million naira is the prize money that Sporting Lagos went away with for winning the Niger Super 8. And I've got to also give credit to the tournament itself, because when they started the tournament, the small 8-team tournament, what they said, one of the agendas was to, you know, bring the fans back to the stadium. I think that on a scale of 10, they've done that on 5. Notwithstanding, it was great events for the last 2 weeks here in the city of Lagos. Right then, let's get away from all of that now. But I'm trusting that you're looking forward to the new season.
Definitely.
Teams are in preseason now, aren't they? You know, we've got to. I get the feeling that
to get players. I mean, aside from the fact that the Super 8 playoff, you know, but they also had a little battle because they got Junior Lokosa. Talking about Sporting Lagos, they got Junior Lokosa from Red Monsters. And according to what I heard, 700,000 naira a month. I mean, it's a good salary.
On a salary? No, that's a very good salary. Are you kidding? That's a very good salary. Anyway, be a part of the show. Let us know your thoughts on social media, Sports Twitter, on Twitter, Instagram, of course, Facebook, and your emails as well. Send us those you know, observations, and of course those nice comments are always good to read from. Right then, we'll take a break on the show, because when we come back, we'll touch base with your favorite European leagues, big players moving, and there are more to come. Welcome back to Sports Twitter. Always a pleasure to walk our way through the stories. 30 minutes of an entire, you know, sporting haven. And of course, Falan Adeni always here on hand to, you know, break down those stories in, you know, expert fashion. My name is Yubi Nduonovid. Let's get the pace going pretty much with Wimbledon tennis. And, you know, if you're a fan of the UK, if you've been there before, you would know that it is one of the grandest stages of, you know, grass tennis. And I get the feeling that it's always an extra special feeling to win the Wimbledon. But speak to me about the kid, the new kid on the block. 20 years of age, Spanish international, Carlos Alcaraz. Look, I haven't seen anything like this in a long time, right? And usually when Novak Djokovic, you know, wins the first set, the way he did it, 6-1 in the first set, he goes on to win it. He's held the Wimbledon title, the stranglehold, for 10 years, you know, smashing everybody. He's literally said, this is my second home. And, you know, nobody's been able to knock him off his perch. This kid yesterday took him to 5 sets and eventually won.
And if you're still sleeping on, if I can use that term, the one they use on the street, if you're sleeping on this kid,
you're on a long thing.
Yeah, a long thing. I think it's that time everybody wake up to the reality that this kid is a kid that he talks and he backs whatever he's saying. He said, I'm going for that crown, you know, and I'm going to win it. And he did it, you know. If you saw the way he took out Dan Medvedev in the semi-final, you will feel pity for Dan Medvedev. I mean, I knew that if Djokovic wins this, then that means, you know, he's something special. I
mean, Djokovic said, right, sorry to cut you in, that he's never played anybody like him. And that's high praise.
That's high praise. I mean, for someone that played Roger Federer, played
Rafael Nadal, all these chaps.
No disrespect to
Andy Murray and co.
Others are pretenders, you know. But I mean, if you can beat Roger Federer and beat Rafael Nadal, not just once, not twice, I mean, then you're something special. And for that same person to tell you that this kid,
I never played anybody like this before.
I mean, I was listening to Tega, and she said, you know, there are some sports that you see a sport person that transcend beyond their sport, you know. And I think she's right, you know. I don't usually agree with Tega, you know, issues like this. But I think she's right, you know. I don't think what Roger Federer did, I don't think Nadal have done that. I don't think Djokovic have done what Roger Federer did. And if you look at basketball, just like you said, Michael Jordan in basketball, if you look at athletics, Usain Bolt came in like a force. And I think if you're looking at Carlos Alcaraz, it's a combination of 3 players,
right.
One, a right-handed Rafael Nadal who he has the power of Novak Djokovic also, and the finesse of Roger Federer.
And most importantly, he's got that mental strength as well.
And after losing the 4th set against him, that should have struck fear into your mind.
Yeah.
But he stood up.
He just kept going. He just kept going. Yeah.
He knew he could do it. And I'm very sure Novak Djokovic inside his head will probably be like, this guy can beat me. I said if there's anybody to beat Novak Djokovic, I mean it has to be Carlos Alcaraz. And he did it.
Carlos Alcaraz 1-6, right? 7-6, 6-1, 3-6, and 6-4 to win his first Wimbledon Grand Slam. It is an amazing story. 15 years, younger than Rafael Nadal, who's 35. The kid is 20, from Spain. His family were there, was there rather, and you could see just how much it meant, not just to the people there, but to see someone else come up. And because I mean, we know the kings, Rafael Nadal, Novak. Roger is now retired and he's having a good time in his retirement, but it's always good to see someone else, come through. I'm a big Novak fan, but I enjoy what I saw, right? Anyway, in the women's category, talk to me about Ons Jabeur. Commiserations to her once more. An African who we are following and hoping that she, one day lifts that Grand Slam title. Couldn't quite do it. What is the stumbling block between her and now? Because Vondrousova kind of went about that easily,
Yeah, well, 6-4, 6-4 winning. And against all of that, I don't know, the favorite lost over the weekend. Probably people want not to agree that Carlos Alcaraz is actually not the favorite.
But it was the number 1 seed.
But then again, we knew, even the bookmakers, they gave, I think, Novak 1.46 there about to win against the 2 for Carlos Alcaraz. And the same thing happened with Ons Jabeur. We were hoping that she will become the first African woman, the first Arab woman, to win a Grand Slam. But I think that mental block is what's affecting her game. I think pressure, came in, so many unforced errors, from her, which is unlike her. I mean, we didn't see that in the quarterfinal, the semifinal, even the round of 16. I don't know what happened. She lost to an unseeded player. I mean, the first time an unseeded player is winning at the Wimbledon Open, and that is the inconsistency we talk about in the female category.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 players can dominate, the male category for long stretch, but in the female category, I mean, Elena Rybakina won last year Wimbledon. She got knocked out very early in this tournament. Iga Swiatek also got knocked out very early in this tournament.
And we thought Swiatek would go far.
Exactly, and she lost. And even Coco Gauff deceiving us. So, and now I won't be surprised if Vondrousova doesn't make it past.
If she does
at the US Open,
a one-season wonder,
exactly,
right?
I won't be surprised.
I've got to say, speaking about consistency, you've got to give credit to Ons Jabeur. She's in the last 12 months, or 18 months, she's always there. Semi-final, final, semi-final, final. And you get the feeling it takes only a matter of time before she breaks that door. Right then. Anyway, trust you enjoyed the Wimbledon. Let's take a quick move away from all of that. Let's touch base with your favorite European leagues. Let's start off with Arsenal, who unveiled 2 players in 48 hours, pretty much in Jurriën Timber and Declan Rice. Now, if you're a Nigerian and you don't know Odumodu Black, you need to brush up on your encyclopedia and find out who he is, because this kid, or this man I should say, did the song a couple months ago, had no idea whatsoever how far Declan was going to go, and eventually Declan ends up at Arsenal. Arsenal reach out to Odumodu Black and say, how about you make a couple adjustments to the song, put Arsenal in the song, and your song will be used for the unveiling. Now, we speak about Afro beats, taking over the world, right? Sure. This is just another feather in the cap, right? And congrats to Arsenal. It feels like a player, but it's like almost a real merger of sports and entertainment meeting at the right confluence. It's amazing stuff, isn't it? Yeah,
and amazing stuff. And I hope Arsenal got a bit of money from Odumodu to add to the transfer fee, because it probably...
Rather, I think hopefully Arsenal paid Odumodu.
Because I'm very sure Odumodu made the price go up because of singing Declan's name. And a wonderful transfer for Arsenal, and also a good one for Nigeria. They're talking about Afrobeat, Nigeria to the world. And I feel we can do more. About Nigeria, we can do more. And hopefully we are going to do more. Then
I just hope Nigerians don't go singing players' names now. The next artist is singing Casemiro.
And talking about Declan Rice, a good transfer for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta wanted the player, and he has gotten the player. Now, I don't think he has any excuse. Last season, the excuse was Saliba got injured. Odin had to come in, which was not a good replacement. Now he has Timber that has come in. No excuse. Probably this is me reaching too far, but Premier League or the Champions League.
Right.
That's the way it goes to.
Right. I like it. Arsenal fans always the most optimistic in the house.
You can't fault a man for dreaming.
But no, certainly not, right? But you've got to admit that Arsenal have done great business. I think so far have they done the entire business? Is that all? Is that the end of it?
For what we're getting, I don't think they've done. They're not done with business right now. I think they're looking at players going out first, just before they can get their hand on another player. Romeo Lavia is in the news. Also, they're looking for maybe someone to compete with Bukayo Saka. But then again, I don't understand why you give Reece Nelson why you give him a new contract if you're still looking for someone.
I mean, you got Pepe. Get Pepe. Why do you let Pepe go?
Because there's Pepe, there's Rice, there's Timber. I mean,
enough and it's not food for the party, right?
Exactly.
Nice. I see what you did there. Of course, Jordan Timber and Declan Rice confirmed as Arsenal players. Next up are Manchester United, who are on the brink of getting Andrew Onana. That's a player from Inter Milan, one of the standout players in the Champions League final. And as things currently stand, he would be a United player this week for sure. United, of course, are still pursuing other targets in the market. Rasmus Højlund, another prime target Erik ten Hag identified for his recruitment team. And, so many players also in the market and moving. Liverpool also in the news as well. Saudi Arabia looking at two of their players, Jordan Henderson, the team captain, and Fabinho. And as things currently stand, Fabinho was left out of the traveling party. So that always gives you an inclination as to what is happening. He probably wants to go to Saudi. And Liverpool now thinking if we lose those two players, we're looking at Sofiane Amrabat or Romeo Lavia as well, who we're hearing they're in talks for that player. Chelsea, what's happening with Caicedo's deal? It's not quite over the line. What is holding that up? Because
according to reports, I think Brighton are asking for £100 million, using
the Declan Rice,
and that was what West Ham also did to Arsenal. I mean, Real Madrid just paid for Jude Bellingham, so we have to pay this amount also for Declan Rice. Brighton are also doing the same thing. And I was telling a Chelsea fan yesterday that, I mean, if you can buy Cucurella for 65 million pounds, then you now want to buy Caicedo.
Right.
Yeah, are you joking or what? So 100 million,
or nothing.
You get your man.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been an interesting transfer window season. I get the feeling there's a twist in the tail because Bayern Munich now very sure that Harry Kane has given them their word that he would be in Germany come the end of the transfer window. Would that deal happen? Kylian Mbappe's 2 weeks is up. So PSG are now hoping to listen to suitors or the highest bidders for Kylian Mbappe. Who would get him? Would it be Arsenal, United, Chelsea, Man City? Could be anybody. City also in the market as well for a player in Vardio. We'll see how that pans out. But across wherever you look, be it in the Premier League, Serie A, Spanish La Liga, Ligue 1, the players moving in their droves, and preseason is all on the way. Falan Adeni, I totally enjoyed the dash as always. We're back next week for even more transfers. And I get the sneaky feeling that one of the biggest players in the world might have moved before our next episode. But Sports Mr. fans, thanks for being with us all through the 30 minutes. And of course, keep it there with us next week as well. Be a part of the show on social media. How about you get out and follow us on our pages and Sports Pizza across all social media platforms. And of course, send us an email as well for sponsorship and your advertising as well. My name is UB, and so do all of it. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.